All right, everyone. So there's a new report on a backstage meeting that was held at WWE. So we're reading from WrestlingHeadlines.com. According to PW Insider Elite, the main topic coming out of the meeting was a discussion regarding talents being mindful of not cursing when they are on camera. No specifics were mentioned during the meeting, but rather it was said to be more of an overall reminder to stay clear of these type of issues, as the company is still technically a TV PG program. So obviously, when Raw goes to Netflix, this is something that's going to change, and they'll have more freedom in this light. But one of the reasons I wanted to do this story is not necessarily that this is some shocking, revelation. Um, I mean, it is in some ways that they're kind of making clear to the hey, don't do too much. But the one thing I wanted to bring up was that I kind of had a change of heart, I will say, on this issue because whenever I think of the Attitude Era, at least over the course of the last few years, especially when you talk about the beginning of the PG era, the blame was always put on, man, PG is what is ruining it. This wrestling would have been so much better if it was PG or not PG anymore. And, the Attitude Era, we miss it. In the Ruthless Aggression Era, we missed that time. And in some ways, that's true, okay? Because, you go back to the Attitude Era, it was just more real, it was more gritty. A lot of that was the case. But I don't think, and Dominic Mysterio was kind of the one who began the gears in my head rolling on this when he talks about how you don't want to just have, swearing and cursing and just all these really, kind of controversial things just to have them. That kind of, in some ways it works at times, but overall you're really hurting the audience because you're kind of telling yourself, okay, we're just going to forget about an entire group of people, right? We're going to forget about anybody that's under a certain age. You guys just aren't going to watch wrestling. And so I think in some ways people are hopefully going to, and I hope this is the direction WWE goes, because this is what Bischoff was talking about, and this is what I think Dominic Mysterio was talking about, is when you go to Raw, when you go to Netflix with Raw, you could have those real gritty storylines. You could have the cursing and all of that, but you could do it in a way that appeals to a larger audience than just, people who are like, hey, let's just get it back to how it was in the Attitude Era, 110%. And by the way, if it was back to the Attitude Era, I would love it. I loved it back in the day. And overall, the Attitude Era had some crazy storylines, and some people go, oh, that went over the line or that went over the line. But I think WWE can actually walk on the fine line of, we could have all of the beauty of the Attitude Era. We could have all of the stuff we loved and still go, but there were a few portions of it that we, hey, we didn't need that portion of it. That was maybe too far, or that was too this, or that was too that. And I think WWE can create a product that everybody wants to watch all the time and loves. And I think, you see it beginning a little bit with kind of how it is right now. Because this is why this meeting was held, right? Because they're like, hey, guys are starting to swear a little bit on camera. Things are getting a little too crazy for us being still TV PG right now. But when we go to Netflix, that's not going to be the case anymore. So I think they're going to be able to kind of walk that fine line. And I hope they do. Not because I don't like, not because I'm against cursing or anything like that. That's not the point. The point is just you can create, don't have the cursing or have it be an added feature to the show versus like, this is why people watch us because we're just doing everything that's controversial or we're just swearing as much as we can. And I think WWE is going to really take off like a rocket ship if it could kind of balance the two, right? The controversial with the mainstream. If you could take both, move it into the middle, I think that could be almost a perfect wrestling product. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we will see you next time.